Any questions? Yeah, go ahead.
So first of all, thank all three of you for sharing your information and educating us. Camille, question for you. The evacuation corridor on the second community, what was the basis for the calculation to do that?
There's actually the 4 different pipelines. So it was based on the material, if it was liquid or gas. And then it all came from the operators themselves. So if it was a leak or I think they called it a rupture or a fire, like it kept going out like it was like a mile, a quarter of a mile. So it was like that sort of thing. So we just got all that from the operators.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Massachusetts.
Okay.
I went to graduate school in Vermont, so I've driven through that rural area of Massachusetts a lot. And I work on interstate gas pipelines now as a community organizer, so very much one of those folks who's pushing for more pipeline safety and more public awareness about pipelines, certainly. I think one thing that I have found that causes so much anxiety with community members is that they don't find out about the project sometimes until really far down the FERC process. It makes them feel very left out of the process. It doesn't feel like they are a trusted stakeholder. And so I guess one of my questions is, how did you all find out so early on, especially in a pre-scoping or pre-application process? Were you notified, and did you let the public know? How did that process happen?
We weren't notified, my agency was, but there were representatives from the pipeline company that were going out to the different municipalities. That's the first word that we heard. They were going to our chief administrative officials, which are selectmen and select boards. And those contacts were really to say, we're going to be doing this. And also, there was a promise of a fair amount of tax revenue that was going to accrue to the town. And that information, that was going out early so that there would be support for this. Berkshire County has basically a reputation of being, Tanglewood and the arts and culture. There's another side of Berkshire County, though. It's one of the few places the only county in Massachusetts that's losing population. It's much poorer than the rest of the state. As a matter of fact, we have some of the poorest communities in Berkshire County. So our communities were very interested in that tax revenue, and they would that would be a good hook to get them in. So that's the first word that we heard. And so municipal officials contacted us and basically requested that we convene other municipal officials to make sure that we're hearing all the same information. And then from that, we started the public participation process.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Go ahead.
Just to say, by the time that the route sort of was changed and they started going up through our part of the state, I think their approach had sort of morphed too, and that we actually did get approached by the operator, commission did, and essentially were lumped into the group of local governments that they needed to start talking to.
Great. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a
Duncan.
question for Tom as well. When you mentioned that cost of $220,000 to participate in the process, is that including your own internal staff time, or
Yes.
just out of pocket?
No, that was our staff time. Those were some of our staff time costs.
Any other questions? Sure, go ahead. We're just like way ahead of schedule, which is great. Go.
I also am a former EMT, and so I lived in rural areas and know about the volunteer fire department system. I know that there, especially under FERC regulated pipelines, that there's the DOT requirement that companies work with local emergency responders to prepare a plan, but one thing that I've seen is that people are concerned about the fiscal ability to actually respond. What was the solutions that you all came to make sure that those emergency responder preparedness folks actually had the financial resources that they would need in case of emergency? Was there funds set aside that was adequate? Was there a tax boost that was proposed? What was the solution in case the pipeline actually went through?
In our region, we certainly never got to that point where there was any kind of solution. I mean, there was some
starting to talk about the idea of post-community agreements, and I think that might have been something you
Yeah,
guys were looking at too. But we didn't get that far.
We were looking at what we call community benefits agreements, where there would be some type of a payment from the pipeline company to the communities for those purposes. And when one of our efforts at joint negotiations was to make sure that the municipalities would get the same deal. That it wasn't, one kind of small town grab the first offer while somebody else held out for a little bit more. So we really wanted to have that shared negotiation. We didn't get that far, and I'll say in our efforts, we were not very successful in terms of getting any reciprocated response from the pipeline company in terms of that. But it was relatively early in the process.